Welcome into Boxing Scene's top stories here on ProBox TV. Download the ProBox TV app. Never fall behind in your boxing news. Well, DAZN has a big card this Saturday, headlined by the cruiserweight division, a showdown between Chris Billam-Smith and Zurdo Ramirez, where, well, our own ProBox TV crew, the Latin side, was down in Saudi Arabia ready for this fight. They were able to sit down with Billam-Smith. This is what he had to say.
Thanks for being here. You want to fight in the Noche Latina, mainly Mexican, or you are a great champion for the WBO.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here. I'm sat beside a legend like yourself, and it's a great experience out here.
What is your opinion about the Mexican style of Zurdo Ramirez?
He's slightly different from a typical Mexican style. I mean, there's not loads of Mexican southpaws through history, but he has all the attributes that Mexicans have. Good, very tough, throw lots of punches, great punch variety, good feet, good judgment, and just a good boxing IQ. So he has all those. Obviously, you just don't see many southpaw Mexicans through the years, but obviously the Mexican style is one I'm very much like.
You imagine fighting a Mexican boxer?
Because
your weight,
yeah, no, I never thought that would be a possibility. So I heard Zurdo was coming up to cruiserweight, and I thought it'd be an honor to fight a Mexican because they're such a great history of in boxing. So I never thought I would.
This is the fight most important in your career?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, obviously at each stage they are important, but this one feels a lot bigger than previous fights. Unification, huge night, a different country for me. So yeah, it feels like a very important fight.
Unification, your style is aggressive, work all the time, so many punches. The Zurdo Ramirez is similar, he moved there. But what are you going to do different for the fight? Because it's tough fight. For the style, you go from another time.
Yeah, I have to be clever with my attacks. You can't just, because he has little small adjustments, you can't just run for throwing loads of punches. You have to be clever, but I also have to be me and use my strengths, and which is my work rate, my tenacity, my strength, my punch output, and all those things.
Mexican and English to make spectacular fights. Marco Antonio Barrera won to Príncipe Hamed.
Exactly.
It will be a spectacular fight.
Yeah, I think so. I think the styles will gel, but this time the Englishman will win.
Why the people want to wait? Because around the world want to see the fight.
Sorry, say that again.
Around the world.
Yeah.
Want to see the fight on the TV.
Yeah, huge numbers, huge eyes on me, which is great. I'm from a small town on the south coast of England, and in England, obviously, I've had big fights, but now the whole, I feel like this is the world stage. Even though I'm a world champion, I've beaten a world champion and defended the belt a couple of times. This one feels a lot bigger because of the eyes on this fight. There will be so many more people watching, and that excites me.
It's like a dream for you. The fight next Saturday?
Absolutely, a massive dream. I've achieved many of my dreams already, becoming world champion in my hometown, fighting at football stadiums. It was an honour for me, but to be in unification fights, which will be watched all around the world, against another champion is a great opportunity.
You imagine fight here in Arabia Saudita, many opposed to England?
I didn't think I would be when I first turned professional, but over the last few years we've seen how good the fights are and the shows are and the spectacle and the fight weeks are out here in Saudi Arabia, and what His Excellency has done in terms of bringing all the good fights together and the cards, good fights from the first fight, second fight, third fight, all the way to the main fight. So it's an honour to be headlining a show like that, and it'd be a great experience.
Do you imagine a knockout?
I'm ready for all eventualities, but I think so. I think I can. As tough as he is, I feel really strong, feel very confident, and in my ability, I feel good, and I know if I can box to the best of my ability, I can get Zurdo out of there.
The main event in Arabia Saudita, many fights went on me personally. When many days before to the fights, I dream, oh, I'm able to win this, able to win. You dream? The fight with dream? What happened up the ring?
Yeah, I see it. I visualize it, and sometimes I have dreams and those sort of dreams. But yeah, I do think about it and see myself and be prepared for everything to happen in the ring. And there's not. I've always done that as an amateur, and early on as a professional, I've always prepared myself and visualized, and then by doing that, then you end up having dreams of you winning as well.
Thank you very much, my friend.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
The best for your fight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to Lalo Camarena for that interview alongside Marco Antonio Barrera. Don't know if you recognize him, sitting to the right there. Great interview. Thanks, guys, for getting that down in Saudi Arabia. Well, I'm here in the United States. Jimmy Smith in studio alongside the champs. That's right, Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri. Paulie, your thoughts on this cruiserweight fight? Two guys that are bringing a lot of eyeballs to a division that doesn't really get enough, but is red hot right now.
You know what, we keep saying the cruiserweight division doesn't get a lot of numbers, but then again, it makes a lot of the best fights, you know? So I think, just as we've also been talking about, it's a weight class that statistically has not, or typically has not gotten great numbers, but I think the last half decade, maybe a little more, has gotten a lot of great attention, the cruiserweight division, and rightfully so. It's a very fun weight class. A lot of the talent ends up staying there more. Unifications happen more rapidly because there's not a lot of places to go in that cruiserweight division where you can just lollygag like you can in some of the lower weight classes and sort of kill time and steal money by fighting nondescript opponents. The cruiserweight division has been a weight class that still struggles to get recognition. So the way it gets recognition, just like the smaller weight classes, is by the top guys fighting the top guys and not playing around with anything in between. And that's what we've been getting a lot of with the cruiserweight division, I think, in the last half decade, maybe even the last 3/4 of a decade. And that's why, for me, it's been one of the more fun weight classes. Zurdo and Billam Smith is another great fight. It's a unification. It's two very capable, solid fighters. Good style clash, and I really look forward to seeing it, man.
Yeah, Chris, when you look at the X's and O's here, Ramirez, of course, coming up from light heavyweight. He's won 2 decisions in a row since moving up to cruiserweight. Lost recently, only loss of his career, Dimitri Bivol. No shame in that loss, but a lot of that power hasn't transferred up to cruiserweight, but he's much more experienced. Looking at 46-1. His opponent, Billam Smith, 20-1. How do you like the X's and O's in this one?
So this is a great matchup. You know, to your point, champ, you know, the big fights happen. We're looking at 2 of the top 3 guys in the weight class fighting each other in a unification match, looking to fight that other guy who's in there, that's Jai Opetaia. So, I mean, this is the reason these weight classes are getting so much attention now, is because the guys are actually the best guys in the world are fighting each other. And in terms of this fight and how it pans out, you know, something Billam Smith said in that interview kind of stuck out to me. He's like, I'm going to have to match his output and his intensity. I don't think that's a good idea, because Zurdo throws a ton of punches. He is a whirlwind out there. He throws a million punches, high, low. He's a southpaw. I think he's just more accustomed from fighting from his southpaw position and throwing so many punches. Also coming from smaller weight classes, lighter weight classes. I believe Zurdo was a 68-pounder at one point. Fought a majority of his career at 75. Fought some really tough fights there. You said the Bivol fight. You know, he moves up to cruiserweight. He fought a very, very tough Joe Smith Jr. who can punch like hell, and completely outworked him, and very, very difficult guy to be successful against Zurdo because of that. Southpaw, big, throws a ton of punches, endless gas tank. You know, they spoke about his Mexican style. A lot of ways, yes, he does have that Mexican style, but he's a little bit of a hybrid. One, he's tall, he's long, he's a southpaw. Not a big puncher, but he's a great body puncher, and he lets those hands go. If I'm Billam Smith, I don't think he should try to match him punch for punch. He should utilize his technique, his strength from the outside, and try to be crafty against the southpaw, because if he just goes punch for punch with Zurdo, I think he's going to have a really hard time all night long.
Paul, you talked about it a lot. You said, look, I wasn't a big puncher in my career, but I had a gas tank. I knew I could go 12 rounds. You couldn't keep up with me. What kind of fighter did you not want to fight in that sense, Paulie? Where if you're the volume guy, what kind of fighter do you not want to fight? What kind of fighter can Billam Smith be to kind of negate that style? Which style you kind of had?
You know, I think the biggest nightmare is when somebody relies on sort of the same strengths you rely on, but does them better. You know, that was the nightmare I had when I had it with Amir Khan, you know. I think no matter how well somebody does a different kind of style, you can try to offset it with your style, and it makes for a good fight. There's definitely been more complete fighters that I fought than Amir Khan, but Amir for me was the stylistic nightmare because he basically relied on range control and fast hands like I did, and he was younger, faster, bigger, better. So I think when it comes to Billam Smith, I tend to agree with the champ when he said that you shouldn't try to outwork Zurdo. That's sort of Zurdo's best approach and what he likes to do. He was a 168-pound world champion. He was a 175-pound world champion. Sure, that when it comes to that kind of thing, the power typically doesn't carry up as you move up in weight, especially that many pounds. But the other things can carry up. The boxing ability, the ability to be busy, the ability to be deceptive in a lot of ways. He's got a southpaw stance as well. He's aggressive. He goes to the body. I don't know that you want to match that with Zurdo. And you can think to yourself, okay, I'm a more natural cruiserweight, I'm bigger than him, but this guy's 6'4", so it's hard to say, just because he's been in the smaller weight classes, he's a smaller guy. Zurdo's a big guy, and I am amazed that this guy ever made 168 pounds.
Now, when you look at it, Chris, is it a shoo-in that the winner of this fights Opetaia? Because we're all looking for that as the ultimate unification fight. Is that just the next fight to make, or could Opetaia maybe move up to heavyweight before then? What's your thought?
Yeah, Jimmy, you took the words right out of my mouth. The only way that the Opetaia fight doesn't happen next is if Opetaia moves up. I could see in the way that I saw Jai Opetaia in his last couple of fights, he's struggling to make the weight. He looks like a guy who really has to be very, very disciplined and get himself down, whittle himself down to make the weight. So unless he moves up, yeah, this is the next fight. I mean, we've been speaking about this weight class and why we like it so much. These fights happen, similar to the lighter weight classes, similar to the ladies. The fights happen because that's how you make money in these weight classes. And there's a couple things I think, Champ, just to go way back to what you said from the very beginning, I think there's three things that made cruiserweight what it is right now. One, adding 10 pounds. I think that was important for the weight class. We're going from 190 to 199, or under 200, making that cruiserweight a little bit different, making it a little bit bigger. The fact that we've got a super heavyweights now, and so the heavyweight division's expanded. The guys have gotten bigger. Even the higher level guys are heavier. And then you've got that plus 10 pounds. I think is really important. But then also I think the fighters that we've seen come out of there. You got Usyk who went through that tournament, made those fights happen. It brought a lot of attention to this weight class. And now you've got kind of like the cruiserweight used to be the tweeners, right? Between light heavy and heavyweight. It's not really that anymore. It's his own weight class where we're seeing really talented guys making good fights that we want to see.
You're making me think. What do you think about, and I'm just thinking that right now, just based on listening to you, what do you think about making cruiserweight 205 and bringing a little bit more guys down to cruiserweight, and that way the super heavyweights, because right now that Bridgerweight division is idiotic both in idea and the name. It's an absolutely idiotic, moronic thing.
And talk about having zero profile and appeal.
Yeah.
No one said that.
And as if the idea wasn't dumb enough, then the name they gave it was even dumber than the idea. As if you couldn't get any dumber. They've managed to get dumber by naming it Bridgerweight, which is a moronic name as you can get. Draws no attention.
Non-consequential, just a tweener division.
So, but being that you have these massive heavyweights, maybe the guys that were 210, 215 will dry themselves out a little bit 205 and make a more stacked cruiserweight division. I'm thinking that's probably a better idea.
The issue
than
there,
it is for Bridgerweight.
The issue there is you're going to have very few light heavyweights who are going to be able to make that jump, right? 30 pounds. So like now, like we get Zurdo. Zurdo was 67. No. He was successful at 75. He started to hurt himself making the weight. He jumps up to the 200-pound division. You make it 205. We're already at plus 25 pounds. You make it plus 30.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna create another tweener division between light heavy and cruiserweight. So I actually really like where sub 200's at. I like your idea too, because then you got those 220 heavyweights who are gonna make it down. But listen, we got Usyk, who's the best heavyweight in the world.
Yeah.
225, 224, 223. Yeah. So I think the weight class are right where they need to be. But
all right.
Either way, cruiserweight's cool.
As they say at the casino, let's let it ride.
We will let it ride, especially, by the way, Friday. That's right, tomorrow, Tyson making his return to the ring, of course, against Jake Paul. Don't listen to the commentary. Put the fight on, turn the volume off. Tune in to Pro Box TV and listen to my boys, Paulie Malignaggi, Chris Algieri. So it's a watch-along. Don't miss it tomorrow night.
Pro Box TV Contender Series. On December 7th, look for an all-out Irish war as Dylan the Real Deal Moran battles Tyrone the Mighty Celt McKenna at the top of a stacked Pro Box-worthy card.
For more Pro Box TV, scan the QR code on the screen or go to the App Store and Google Play. Pro Box TV, your boxing channel.